a reminder, the final Lights Before Christmas at Covenant Hospital for Covenant Kids is taking place tonight. And the festivities, hot chocolate and Miles Market goodies and all of that is a gathering from anywhere from 5:30 to 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, all the first responder vehicles there will light up their lights, blow their sirens, and let the kids know we're thinking of them as they look out the windows of the children's wing of the hospital. So if you can possibly make it, we invite you to stop on out. And also, if you would like to bring an unwrapped new toy, we'll be collecting those for the hospital so they can be given to the youngsters who find themselves, through no fault of their own, in the hospital at holiday season. And speaking of giving, that's going to be the subject of our program for this hour, because with me is one of the most giving individuals I know, and he has created a new way of doing that. He's got a program called Boxes on Break, and we say good morning to Clint Bryant.
Good morning, Art. It's great to be here this morning with you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share a little bit about what I call Boxes on Break.
Yeah, I laughed at that. So let's go back to the beginning. Well, first, let's do an overview of Boxes on Break. Mm-hmm. What is it all about?
Well, what the mission that we have with Boxes on Break is to make sure that no student, our goal is to have no student be hungry over their holiday break. This year for winter break in Saginaw County, most of our schools will be out of session for a total of 16 days. So came up with this really wild idea to try to help feed kids over that 16-day period.
Because we could point out cafeterias are closed. They don't
Absolutely.
Eat where they normally might eat in school a couple of meals. They don't have that opportunity.
We know that whether it's all K through 12 students throughout Michigan in our public schools have the ability to get breakfast and lunch for free. And many students rely on that as a main source of nutrition. And parents also rely on that to help ease their budget a little bit. So when students are going to be home for a total of 16 additional days, we're looking, of course, we want to directly impact and feed kids, but we know that this is a whole family issue as well. So we want to help alleviate their budget, because I don't know about you, Art, but when the holidays come and toward the end of the month, that bank account is looking a little low.
Yeah.
That's how it is. So the other thing I wanted to point out, too, is I know we've have a strategic partnership with Saginaw Public Schools, but also Francis Ray as well. And at Francis Ray, those students get breakfast, lunch, and dinner at Francis Ray. Yes, with the Leona group. So students are going to definitely be in need over this break. So we wanted to bring some of my friends together to directly deliver boxes of food that's easy to open, that's easy to prepare for our students in Saginaw.
So I would have to imagine if you were going to do that, you needed some partners.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially those that might be in the food industry.
Yes. I initially had called or text 5 friends. I reached out to them a little bit over a month ago, and they all there's some folks that you know that you can call, and it was in my heart, it was in my spirit. I couldn't sleep. I said, what can we do? There's so much kind of chaos, throughout the country right now, and people aren't coming together. So I was just thinking, what can we do for our kids to let them know over this 16-day period that somebody cares, somebody's looking out for them, to leave kind of all of the other stuff aside, that us adults deal with, but we can all come together and work on feeding kids. So 5 friends, that's kind of how it started, and then it's grown by leaps and bounds, and I'm absolutely overwhelmed. We do need some help with volunteers and donations, but I mean it's growing, and we know the need is there.
And you do have some sponsorship too.
We
right?
do. Last week, a week ago yesterday, I got the surprise of my life with a contribution from Kroger. I walked into Kroger a month ago with my coffee, brought them donuts,
You brought Kroger
to the
donuts.
grocery store. After I walked in there, I said, "Wow, I guess there's all kinds of food here. Why did they bring something?" But it's usually a good conversation starter, and they just completely bought in from day one. I think initially they said that they would help sponsor 250 of those boxes. And then it kind of evolved into an in-store campaign for 4 days where folks were able to contribute items, ravioli, beefaroni, stuff that kids like to eat, So they were able to do that in store for us. And then they were also presented us a check, 4 boxes on break for $5,000.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
do you have the ability to get food from the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan or Hidden Harvest or any of those?
I think in the future, some of those partnerships will develop. I think
Now, this is brand new.
This
You
is
point
it's
that out,
it's
right?
absolutely brand new, and we want to make sure that we're not duplicating any efforts. And when I look at the Kroger store out on State Street in Saginaw, we have about 70,000 people that use that as their main grocery store. So I'm glad to partner with them and bring some of those resources back to the city of Saginaw. And I mean, they have some real, if you think my idea for Bob was wild, the ideas that they have as we move forward the years to come, they've absolutely blown my mind with some of the stuff that they want to do.
You've triggered them. That's good.
Yes, yes.
So
yes.
at this point, as we sit here right now, how many boxes, how many Bobs do you have?
We have 750 Bobs that will be going out to doors on between Sunday, December 28th and December 29th. That's a Monday. And that's strategic as well. Everything that we've done for every part of this project is with intention. So we know that Saginaw is a very generous community, and we know that we're a community of need. But what I can say is that, there's Hidden Harvest, there's the soup kitchen, there's a variety of resources that families can go to, and churches as well. But what happens, the question is what happens after that holiday meal? After you have a ham, you have that turkey, whatever you have as a family that day, those leftovers are not going to last for the rest of the duration. So we picked to do this after the holiday meal, when students are going to be the most vulnerable, when families' budgets are going to be the most strained. So this is not an issue of a food giveaway. We're delivering them directly to doors, because the issue of transportation, mobility, and access are some of the barriers that we have.
So you have 750 boxes as we sit. How
Yes.
many boxes do you think you may need?
Well, I think Saginaw Public has just over 5,000 students, and Francis Ray has about 550 students. So there's definitely need there. Most of those students, not only do we live in a food desert, but they also live in poverty as well. So we just really want to let these kids know that we care about them. I mean, I began my career in support services as a school bus driver. So one of the first
We're going
calls
to talk about that.
one of the first calls I made was to them, to the transportation company for a student, and they said, absolutely, what do you need, how many buses, when? And it's fun. I wanted to bring back the joy of serving and having a good time. So, yeah.
All right. Clint, hang on. We're talking to Clint Bryant and his project, Boxes on Break, to feed youngsters over the holiday break. We'll talk more about that and other things when we return here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW.
This week, it's a year
Around the corner, and if you still have gifts to buy, the best place to do that is Macy's Great Gift Sale. Get amazing deals on last-minute gifts like fine jewelry and fragrance sets, boxed and ready to give. And everything from designer bags to Nespresso coffee makers at 30 to 60% off. Plus, your Macy's is the most festive place this holiday. So come in and find everything left on your list all in one place. The Great Gift Sale is happening now at Macy's. Savings off select prices. Exclusions apply.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges?
And we're back with you in studio with me, Clint Bryant, and his Boxes on Break. It's first year for it. And you're not done collecting yet. I mean, you got 750 boxes, but you need more, right?
We have the boxes. We have some of the items. We have room for more. We definitely have room for more. We're very thankful for the generosity of some of our corporate sponsors. But from buying a can of ravioli to sponsoring a couple different boxes, there's an opportunity for everyone. I know in the Saginaw community, we lost some coaches, we lost some strong educators, and some of the current teachers I know in Saginaw Public Schools have made contributions in honor of those folks at the Community Foundation.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If we said to a listener, we'd like you to contribute for a box,
Mm-hmm.
what does it cost you to put the food in the box? What
$10.
do you-
$10.
$10?
$10.
That's it?
$10. $10.
Really?
$10.
That's pretty darn reasonable.
It's cheaper than one lunch.
Yeah, I mean that's wow, that's less than I thought.
Yes, I mean Kroger's been fantastic. Once we knew that we were able to secure a large quantity of items at their cost.
Here's a box.
Oh, thank you for one box, Art. I appreciate it. I will take it. And I strongly encourage folks to visit the Community Foundation website. Because it's super easy, and you can get a receipt for your contribution there. They've been great partners as well. Renee Johnson over there, we had a meeting in about 10 minutes. We were done.
So $100, that's 10 more kids to get fed.
Absolutely.
That's pretty amazing. That's a reasonable
I
cost.
think
That's a very reasonable cost.
And the key is that partnership with Kroger, when we're able to source these items at their cost, and then they throw,
Money on top of it.
$5,000 on top of it. It's really amazing. And even when there's sales, when there's some clearance items, they've been blowing up my phone.
And so in this box, we're not just talking about one day's worth of food.
Absolutely not. No. We have easy to open, easy to prepare meals. In snacks too. Everything from granola bars to ramen noodles to beefaroni to fruit cups to anything that they can easily prepare themselves. We don't want any kids turning on any stoves. We just want them to be able to nuke something in the microwave, and if they don't have, some of these kids might not even have electricity, so there's still things, cereal. I've learned a lot in the last month about groceries and how much they cost.
How was it decided what goes in the box? Who did that?
Kroger. We worked with Kroger in a really strategic way.
They've really been a strong partner.
Whether they're all good friends now. We're all good friends. So from sale items to thinking of, do we use a national brand? Is there a Kroger brand? What's it down to the penny? Can we throw in another item? I mean, it's the joy that I've got from this is really, of course, we want to help kids, but it's really about inspiring other adults too, because growing up in Saginaw, I was a Saginaw kid, and we help each other. We stand up for each other. We try to fill the gaps and break barriers, and this is just something that has really kind of caught fire. So we had a press conference last week at Kroger, and there was an 8-foot shopping cart there. I had never in my life seen an 8-foot shopping cart, and I saw there was like a shift change that was going on, and to see the cart. People come in, the young men and women who do the carts at Kroger, they looked at that and they said they were filled with joy. And that's really what this is about. I kind of had a moment when I was doing some personal shopping as well and heard it over the PA. They had a great announcement every 15 minutes. They were coming on and encouraging people to support Boxes on Break. And then every register had something for Bob Saginaw. There was a school bus out there in the parking lot to create awareness. And then just a bunch of different friends who might not have even heard about it yet were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Did you know about this? Or folks saying, hey, I heard the announcement, or I got 7 ravioli and I threw them in. That's all I could do. And it's just it's beautiful.
So we talked about money.
Yes.
What about volunteers? Do you need?
Yes. You hit a chord there.
All right. So what are you looking for in the way of volunteers, and how many do you need, and what do they do?
We need as many volunteers as possible. Many hands make light work, and I think right now we have a 2-day event because when you kick something off, you're not really sure if there's going to be interest. And what we're seeing now is we don't want to take people away from church, but if you want to contribute for a half hour before church on the 28th or a little bit of time after service, come on. We're going to need you. We'll be there for a while. We're going to try to aim to get as many of those 750 boxes out on Sunday the 28th as possible. So they can visit our website. It's really easy. Bob, B-O-B, Saginaw.org, and we have a doodle. There's a link to a doodle on there. So if you would like to help with registration, if you would like to help load food boxes, to pack food boxes, to help deliver some of those food boxes, there's something for everyone to do. If you want to be a greeter, you can just welcome people. I think that's really important. I think with this, and we're going to have, a DJ, we're going to have music, is really to create a vibe, to have fun. It doesn't have to be, I have to do this. There's a joy in serving and a joy in giving back that's contagious.
Yeah, absolutely. Do the families know that they're going to receive these?
Yes. So how this works, and we're still kind of working out some of the kinks, and with the districts, I mean, God bless them, this is something that's new. So we had to kind of get some buy-in from them as well. So parents will be directly contacted from the district, or they can reach out to the school district themselves, whether it's Saginaw Public Schools with Miss Inez Williams or Miss Kate over at Francis Ray. They can contact those school offices if they haven't already been contacted. But I know that Francis Ray in particular has 200 addresses ready for us to go.
And I have to assume the need is greater than you're able to fill.
It is, and I wanted we had to start somewhere. And I kind of pitched this idea to one of those 5 friends I was talking about, and instantly he said, I got 250. I got 250 boxes, because I wanted to start with something that if nobody bought in, I could do it myself. I didn't want.
That wasn't going to happen.
Especially with kids, you can't. We don't want to make any kind of promises or throw something out there and you can't deliver. So when I told one friend this, he got a couple friends together. So we got 250. Kroger had 250. So then I said, guess what? I know I can do 250. So we're just it's growing, and it's a really, really beautiful thing. And like I said, Kroger has ideas to do some stuff on site next year. At the store, in the parking lot. So I'm just kind of trying to, I don't want to say rein them in, but I want to make sure that we have that Saginaw really comes up and supports. Absolutely.
I know they've done some other things with other organizations.
Yes, and it's really unique. And they've been generous but kind as well, and they recognize the work that we've put into this. And really creating awareness and spreading the message. One of the coolest things is that they had KTV there, and KTV is like a Kroger network.
Oh, really?
That travels throughout all of the Kroger stores and their affiliates. So they were there, and we did our press conference and did some interviews. But KTV runs in 35 states and is in over 2,800 locations. So across the country.
Wow. So
I think what we're doing here in Saginaw for our students is already reverberating across the country. So it's really exciting to have their buy-in locally, but as far as a corporate sponsorship, I mean, they are really just pumping out the message to try to help students. So I can imagine that this may even grow further in the future.
Like nationally.
Yes.
All right, hang on. We'll be back. We're talking to Clint Bryant. Boxes on Break, I should say, is the program that he initiated. I'll tell you more about that and some other things when we return.
We're proud to make...
The program is Boxes on Break, feeding students in Saginaw that might not get meals because the schools are closed over the holiday. How would someone donate?
Oh, that's a great question, Art. They can visit bobsaginaw.org and click our donate tab, or you can just go directly to the Saginaw Community Foundation and select the Boxes on Break Fund. And you can do that. I mean, that's super easy, quick, almost instant online, or they can send a check to the Community Foundation.
And in the put for the benefit of.
Yes. Right in the memo, they can
For
put
the benefits
boxes.
of Bob.
Bob Saginaw, Box on Break. It's just when I go to even just like the Family Dollar or go to get gas, people are shouting out, "Oh, it's Mr. Bob," and it's like, no, my name is really not Bob, but it's cool, and it lets me know that it's catching on.
Clint Bob Bryant. I like that. Clint Bob. There we go. Clint Bob.
I like it. Maybe in another life. I love it. But yeah, we just want to encourage folks to come out and have a good time. I know not everybody has resources. Again, it's a holiday, but just come together. We're going to have a really great brunch. In that, if you have some food, you can always ask people to do a little bit more. So we're going to have some really good stuff. And it's going to be at
when do you need the volunteers?
On December 28th, that's the Sunday, and probably on the 29th. A lot of the folks we see that are signing up for Sunday. So if we get enough folks on Sunday, we're going to push out as many of those 750, if not all those boxes, in one day. We want to get the food to where it needs to go as soon as possible.
And what time are you going to do that?
It's going to be from 10 till 12. And folks can come a little bit early, too, if you want to stop through at 9:30. Everything will be hot.
Where are you going to do it?
We're going to do it in the SVRC ballroom.
Oh, upstairs at SVRC.
Right, yes. I was going to do it at my office. They were CMURC was generous enough to let us do something there, and then made connections with Rachel, and she said, we have this ballroom.
Yeah.
Why would you not? This just makes sense. So we're going to move these boxes from the ballroom to our freight elevator at the Saginaw News Building. They'll go down the freight elevator. We'll throw them from the loading dock onto buses, and they'll just make their way.
Okay, well, mark me down for something.
Oh, thank you.
I'll be there.
That'd be great.
It's great.
Wonderful.
I've heard about it because we have a mutual friend whose initials are CC, but we won't go farther.
Yes.
And she's been talking about it a lot. And I just, at this time of year, I have certain causes that I support.
Mm-hmm.
Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, Salvation Army, and I'm always looking for those that are unique and different that really truly go directly to help people.
Yeah.
And when I heard about this, I said to myself, man, this is the kind of thing that's, you make an impact immediately.
Yes,
And
yes.
You've done this in, what, a month?
Just about a month.
Just about a month.
And
Can you imagine what it's going to be like next year when you have all the pre-planning time? And
I can't imagine what spring break is going to look like.
you're going to do it then, too?
I think we'll have a good announcement coming soon. I've been instructed by some of those 5 friends. And Cam Barrett, he's the corporate media PR person, and he said, we are not done by any means, so buckle up, buddy.
Is that from Kroger?
Yes. Their goal is to see a large circus-style tent maybe for spring break and do something right at. I think the sky is really the limit, and the goal really will be, of course, once we take care of our students in Saginaw, city of Saginaw, and we're looking to make some partnerships in Bridgeport and Birch Run, where there are Kroger stores and where First Student already has transportation agreements. I think it's a natural.
That's the bus provider.
Yes. I think it's just a natural fit. So maybe we can branch out a little bit more to the rural community. We know there's issues out there in the rural community in Merrill, Chesaning, Hemlock. All over the place.
Program.
Absolutely. I think we can do something, and then also, maybe expand even further because we know there's Kroger's in Flint, and there's First Student has a numerous.
So we will have Bob B's.
But there will always be Bob Saginaw first.
Well, but there's Bob B's. That's Bob Branches.
Oh yeah, I love RC. That's why we got to spend more time together. I love it.
I mean, this is brand new.
Yeah.
You don't have a board of directors or anything yet.
No, I have some really good friends. And like I said, I worked in support services for Carleton Schools and Saginaw Public Schools. But some former superintendents, some teachers that have been doing this for 30, 40 years plus. So there's a real wealth of knowledge and folks I could bounce some ideas off. But I think we had a pretty strong footing. I was like, is there any holes? Is there anything that I'm missing? Because this just seems like it's possible.
1 month. It's amazing you've done what you've done. So, I mean, All right, we're going to take a break and ponder all that. Be back with one final segment with Clint Bryant. Boxes on break.
Hi, this is Catherine Tate.
A little more Mannheim Steamroller for you. 'Tis the season. We're talking to Clint Bryant. Clint, of course, a former Saginaw City Council member and now represents school employees, non-classroom employees, I would guess was the way I'd be phrasing it. School bus drivers and the like. Mm-hmm. And you know that occupation well, don't you?
I do. That's how I kind of got about 20 years ago. It's wild to think that. I started with Saginaw Public and drove a school bus. I mean, it was.
I did that too, many years ago.
It was
New
fun.
Jersey.
It was so fun. I didn't like the mornings. 4:30 in the morning to punch in is really early. But it really kind of led me to this. You wonder where life takes you and journeys, and it's just when you look back at it, it's like this is why I had to see where these kids lived. It's one thing to work in the classroom and be a teacher, but when you are the first person, sometimes that kids see in the morning, and the last person. It really can weigh on you. It's very different than instructional learning because you're more so wiping noses, tying shoes, making sure they're okay. And I want them to know that when they're on spring break, that we care. When they hear those school bus doors open, they know that hope is here.
And there were stories in the past couple of years of a shortage of school bus drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Has that changed at all?
No, I think the districts, there's a need everywhere. Whether you're in the cities, whether you're in the rural communities, you just can't find folks, and especially good people who care. That's the most important. That's the most important part because some of these kids live some really interesting lives. They've lived more of a life than some of these adults, And when you're in the school setting, they're looking for mentors. They're looking for someone they can talk to. Even for high school kids,
And the biggest part to me is a lot of these kids are looking for love.
They are absolutely looking for love.
What's happening at home that they do that in school?
Mm-hmm. I was talking to a teacher at Saginaw United, and mind you, Art, I don't always have like bright ideas, but
don't shortchange yourself.
she was telling me she's been a teacher in the district about 30 years. She said, a lot of the focus is on elementary kids. But what about our high school students who are help raising their siblings who are also working? Those people also need a box on break. If they need to have something for their lunch break, something for their 15-minute on their way to work even, there's a lot of our high school students who are doing multiple roles, not only being a high school student themselves with handling that stress, but working and raising their siblings.
And think about this. They're raising their siblings without being taught how to raise their siblings.
There you go.
They weren't raised properly.
Absolutely. And this idea, it's a little bit selfish for me too, but it's really life experience. My Nana, she's 78 years old. She's has custody and is raising her 9-year-old granddaughter and 2 grandsons who are 16 and 17. And I'll tell you what,
good for her.
They eat her out of house and home like kids do. And then I was talking to someone last night, like, remember when you used to get home and the first thing you would do was go to the refrigerator? It's just, it's natural.
I remember that. That's a long time ago, and I remember it.
When they're going there. So I really want to make sure that, and remind you that these foods are shelf stable. We don't have any issues of freezing or anything like that, but we just want them to know that on the 28th, they just can open their front door and there's going to be something there waiting for them.
Such a great idea. I mean, it really is. I can see it expanding into a major program across the country, really. Mm-hmm. There is no corner of the country that doesn't have problems.
Amen.
There's no utopias, friends.
That's right.
Forget it. And I once thought there were.
Mm-hmm.
And in my life, I've moved to different places only to find out they have the same problems. May call them different names, but same problems.
There's always need. There's going to be need out there.
There is always need.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the time of year. The shame of it, in one way, is that it takes this time of year for us to think about it. which is why we help, the rescue ministries throughout the year, because that need, you come to find out, that need is continuous.
Yes.
It's not just at the
Yes.
holiday seasons.
Yes.
It's not just at the cold weather time. It's continuous.
Absolutely. And this is again, not to take away from any of the amazing organizations we have out there that do this work all the time. I think this is such a niche. And it can go directly to kids. It's not going to a parent, this is going directly to them. It's been designed for them, and we just want to help them.
You are a living example of someone my late father would have been extremely proud of.